Hello everyone, my name is Justin, and real quick before we get into the video, if you guys play the first Descendant and or enjoy my content and would love to support me, my creator code will be down in the description below. Anyway, we'll jump right into the video. To begin, I just want to say I'm just going to show you how I got the major last components to drop rather than those smaller materials that you could find in resource crates and munition barrels. Overall, I tracked everything with Anais, I think that's how you say her name. You can see my Valby is on her 16-hour craft. Going down to the Descendant material tab, you can see the 3 items you need to craft her: the spiral catalyst, the stabilizer, and the enhanced cells. Just a note, each one of these will take about 8 hours to craft. And on top of that, you also need the Valby code as well. I'm going to go into a little bit more depth with that at the very end of the video. Now for these items, I would farm missions to get various patterns, or they're basically loot boxes, and open them by beating void intercept missions until I got the right drop. So it'd be a loop, essentially. That's what I'm going to refer to him as in this video. So the first boss I used for this loop was Stunning Beauty. The pattern I used to unlock from her was Pattern 009, which has a 38% drop rate for that item. This pattern can be found in the Sterile Lands mission Forgottens, and it drops 100%. Overall, I repeated this loop about 3 or 4 times. For the Enhanced Cells blueprint, I used the Executioner boss to open Pattern 16. I got this pattern by running the mission Sepulture in Vespers. The pattern drops 100% of the time, so just run that mission over and over again, and you're just going to rack up those little loot boxes or patterns. This loop surprisingly only took me about 2 to 3 tries, I want to say. The third boss, Devourer, was the hardest for me to beat. He's a higher level boss, I want to say, and it's just a little bit more difficult because of his little antics and things that he does. But I used him to open Pattern 29 for the stabilizer blueprint with a 38% drop rate. Pattern 29 drops from the Asylum mission in Agna Desert with a 100% drop rate. So again, you could run Agna Desert over and over again and you'll just rack up those patterns or loot boxes. This one was the worst for me. It took about 4 or 5 loops, I want to say, just to get that blueprint to drop. And the last thing I needed, of course, was the Valby blueprint, which was the easiest, but also the most tedious process, I want to say. It took me the longest to complete for sure. For this process, I had to use Bunny because the certain mission requires Bunny in her electric ability. But to get Valby's code with her, I would go to the Sterile Lands and farm the Rockfall Vulgus Strategic Outpost mission. There I got Pattern 006, which only has a 20% drop rate, so you may have to repeat this a little bit. However, this pattern contains the final piece, Valby's code, which has a 30% drop rate, I want to say. I could be wrong, I think it might be 38, but the pattern can be opened using the Void fusion reactor within that same area. However, this fusion reactor needs 3 polymer shards and 12 monomer shards. Now these I was able to get by completing the Void Fragment mission nearby 3 times. This mission is the one that requires Bunny. It's really quick if you're a high, or at least have high level weapons or anything like that. The Rockfall mission also, where you can get the loot box or the pattern, it has a 5-minute cooldown, so if you don't get it on that first go around, I would basically go and farm the Void Fragment mission nearby until that cooldown was done, and then I could just run it again. Overall, it took me easily about 8 hours, I'd say, to keep, doing those over and over again. And I kept getting the lower odds items from the Pattern 006, which honestly had me thinking some of these drop rates are kind of BS. But that's about it for this video, guys. I hope I was able to explain things somewhat well. If you guys have any questions or need any extra help, just let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.